All right, I think we're live. All right, hey guys, welcome to the second Automated Wealth Network Hangout. And today is going to be a really special event. We have two special guests on with us, and it's going to be really cool. We're going to be covering some cool strategies with YouTube, and then Tim has a cool little bonus surprise for you guys at the end. So. All right, let's get this started. So what I want to do first, actually, I'm going to hand it over to Tim if he has anything else that he wants to cover before we get started, and then we'll introduce our guests here.
Oh, all right. Hey, guys, what's going on? Tim here. And, yeah, you can see our special guests. We got Mark and Steve over the UK, across the pond. You guys are, you guys never sleep, it looks like. What time is it for you guys?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock at night.
It's too late.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm sure there's a lot of people, they know who you guys are. At least they know your names because they've seen your names in the back office on the leaderboard. And, you know, what we want to do for the people on the Hangout is, and also watching the replay, is you guys probably want to know what Steve and Mark are doing to get those results. And what they're going to do is basically share their strategy on exactly what they're doing, because it's not a secret. It's literally right in front of you, and we're going to get into that as well. And then after that, I got a little surprise for everyone on here, especially for the ones who are on here live. If you're watching this 2-3 months from now, it won't apply to you, but this is definitely going to help you guys out for those of you who are on the Hangout right now. So if you want to get into it, Mike, I don't know where you want to go from there.
Okay, yeah, one thing I want to mention, obviously if you're watching this on the Hangout page, you're going to see that we have a new commenting feature on there. It's not Facebook anymore, so you're going to have to log in. You can log in with Facebook or I think Twitter, or I mean Google, I forget what exactly, or you can make an account with your email. So once you make an account, you can comment on there and engage with everybody in there. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. So at the end, when we're going to be doing the Q&A, you know, you're going to ask your questions down there, and we'll get to them. So, all right, so we're just going to go get started, and we're going to start off with Mark. Mark, go ahead and give us a little bit of your story and how you got started and what Automated Wealth Network has done for you so far.
Okay, guys. Hello. So I'm Mark Crosby. I've been online for about close to a year now, coming up to a year in May. So I used a previous system, a very similar system that uses the My Cash Freebies sites, and basically I found Steve Dordill as my sponsor in that system just by pure coincidence. Like a binary options, which are like the binary trading kind of systems advert popped up, and for those of you who don't know, they do fairly compelling sales videos. So I had no real interest in internet marketing at that time, but it did kind of compel me enough to do a Google search, and it just so happened that I found Steve Dordill at the top of the search engine this particular day. And my previous background is online poker, believe it or not. So I played poker for 5 years online, studied the game. 3 years of that was as a losing player. I kind of pride myself on the fact that I don't know how to quit. If I've set my mind on something, I'll do it and do it and do it until I start to get results from it. And I apply that mindset to internet marketing. And from day one, when I first joined the previous system, I was in. Steve Dordill, as always, was top of the leaderboard. So I just kept a close eye on him. And just basically copied what he did until I got similar results, and now I'm seeing the major benefits from that, because I kind of built up enough content online to the point where all I did when AWN came along was I just redirected my links to AWN, so I had all this content just directed to AWN, and that the results just started flowing in massively straight away. So this is an amazing system. Thank you very much, guys. And that was my piece.
All right, I unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome, Mark. So basically, I mean, you're already sending traffic to something, and all you did is basically redirect that traffic to our system, And with the same type of traffic, you had a big jump in your results, right?
Yeah, massively, hugely, you know, yeah, like times 5, you know, like yeah, like quite literally, huge multiples of the results I was previously getting. Anyone who knows even a little bit about me knows that I work in a call center, and I strive to get out of the call center game. And you know, the reason that I could not sleep the first 4 days of using this system was because all this very different lifestyles all of a sudden became a reality, you know. So I'm not there yet, but I will be very soon, just by the pure fact of the residual income you can make through using this system. So yeah, results are much bigger. I've never seen anything like it in the time I've been online.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the kind words. You know, we're excited to see these types of, you know, testimonials start coming in. And it's just amazing. You know, when Tim and I mean, I know we've said this multiple times, when we created this system, we had one thing in mind, is giving, you know, over-delivering on value and giving something that is absent in the marketplace in this niche, and giving them a system and a funnel that just converts like mad. And it seems like we've accomplished that so far. And then to think that we're only going to improve on this is kind of scary, but yeah, we have a lot of stuff in store. So we're just excited for all you guys that are going to benefit from this heading into the future. So thanks for your story, Mark. So Steve, you're next up to bat. Please introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself, and how AWN, you know, got you to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise. Probably I'm probably the most surprised. Yeah. Well, hi guys, and thanks for having me on. And yeah, I mean, I've not been doing this much longer than Mark, to be honest. I started out online at the end of 2013. I'd been sort of trying different things out, and I'd been in various sort of offline kind of network marketing businesses over a long period of time here and there, and just got fed up with the whole thing of, you know, how you go out and kind of pester your friends and family and the guy who owns the shop round the corner and the postman and the milkman and pretty much anyone. They make you write a list of anyone that you can think of, and then you just go and bug them until they just stop being your friend anymore. And so I'd been doing that, and I obviously got pretty fed up with it, and so did a lot of my the people that I knew. But I could see that there was obviously a lot of potential in the whole idea of, you know, network marketing, multi-level marketing, and I kind of got into internet marketing that way because I wanted to do something that was without having to go out and chase people. I wanted people to be kind of coming after me in a way. So I kind of saw that there were people out there who, you know, once you knew how to kind of get in front of the right audience, because the problem with a lot of these offline businesses, it's great working from home, the whole idea of it's great, but the model that most people were using to market those sorts of businesses just didn't work. And I think with obviously the internet was a way to actually get around that, so I could, you know, get in front of the right people so that I wouldn't be chasing them, they'd be chasing me. So I was trying to find a way to get into all that, and I think it's very difficult when you're starting out sometimes, when you don't have anyone there to show you. Obviously a lot of, you know, anyone starting out online will know that it's you know, there's a lot of people saying different things, and a lot of shady products and dubious motives behind what people are selling out there. So I think I struggled with that for a while in terms of how do I market this business, and I would be just going out and I tried a bunch of different things, you know, just kind of basically spamming my link all over Facebook and doing all the kind of newbie mistakes that everyone makes, until I came across a business. So this is the business that Mark was referring to earlier, but this was around the end of 2013, so nearly 18 months ago. I came across a business and a guy who was making decent money from this business, who was willing to just share a few of his methods and how to kind of get traffic, and that involved YouTube marketing. And he laughed at me because my face, I think, must have sunk when I had a Skype call with a guy and said, dude, you're making a full-time kind of six-figure income from this business, which also used the MyCash freebie sites, but it was some other sort of nuances that were different. But it was incentive marketing, and it was obviously attractive because the fact that you could get started for free, at least that this, I knew this guy wasn't after, my money. At the end of the day, he wanted to help me, and the fact that he spent some time with me on Skype and said, dude, you're asking me how I'm making all this money. It's I recommend you look at putting out YouTube videos. And like I said, my face must have dropped because I'm not the most I don't particularly like talking to cameras and stuff like that. So but at that point he could have pretty much told me to, I don't know, jump up and down the street and go la 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 la. If that had if I'd known that was going to get me results, then I'd have pretty much done whatever he told me. So I followed his advice. He was telling me to do put out a video every day, give it 30 to 40 days, just be consistent, and don't get hung up on the fact that getting results straight away. He said it was all about building up that online presence, and just so being consistent, and guided me towards a few training things. That he was doing hangouts weekly about he had one guy come on that gave some SEO, like search engine optimization tips, which really helped as well in terms of not just getting those videos out and what to do the videos about, but also how to rank those videos so that they're appearing obviously at the top of the search engine results when people are looking for ways to make money online. So I think for me the big turning point was getting obviously that consistency and getting into the habit of putting videos out, and then learning some of the, it's fairly basic skills. I'm no expert in some online marketing expert. I've just a few basic things, because video is a lot easier to as you know, guys, Mike and Tim, it's a lot easier to get a video at the top of the search engines than it is to, for example, get a website to the top of the search engines, although it's just a quick, easy way to kind of do it. So that's kind of how I got started. It was pretty much basically reviewing products that are being launched in the online, make money online space, and I started off reviewing ClickBank products. So things like you can, I don't know, they sell all sorts of different products out there on ClickBank, but the idea was that anyone looking for make money online products, they'll be looking for reviews on these sorts of products, and do a review and try and give an honest review, and not just, if I came across a good product, to say this looks good, feel free to check it out. But at the same time, I'm in this business which was free for me to join and give all this awesome training. So feel free to check this out as well. And I started getting traffic that way, and it just kind of moved on from there. I tend to review some of the more dubious products these days, because you get a lot of products out there making these grand claims that people can make thousands of dollars a minute on autopilot just by clicking a button, and guaranteed you're going to be a millionaire in 6 months, which is clearly an absolute lie. So, but a lot of people get suckered into that, and they go, oh, this looks too good to be true, and they'll go out and type into Google, they'll be looking for reviews on these sorts of products, and what I do is put reviews out on, like I say, these days it tends to be the more dubious, too good to be true products, which just tend to get me a lot of traffic. And exactly the same as Mark, when AWN came along, it was literally a case of, God, this system looks good. Obviously, the training in there, above anything else, it was just the fact that there was an awesome sales funnel, and most importantly, all this value and training in there. So it was something that all of the subscribers that I built up over the previous year, I could go back to them and say, guys, look, if you're struggling, hook into this thing. You'll get all this amazing training for free, even if you don't decide to use the sales funnel or the marketing system, and you just take the training and apply it somewhere else. You've got something here which is just awesome value. So for me, it was a kind of no-brainer. Just I wanted to direct people and all that traffic that I was getting, that was pointing from my domain to the other business that I was working. I thought, well, as a test run, I thought I'd just point my domain at AWN instead for a day or two, see what happened. And I think it was about it was the same evening Mark and I caught up, because Mark and I have been working together, obviously in the other business, and we worked quite closely. We caught up that evening, and he'd already kind of pretty much sent out an email to all his subscribers saying, "That's it. I'm not doing that other business anymore. This is where you want to be." And I thought I should have probably done the same thing already, but I'd been getting the traffic and comparing it and the conversions, and it was kind of a no-brainer, really. It was, people see that sort of quality in the system. You're giving something good to people, and it helps them and it helps you as well, because obviously the results speak for themselves. The conversion's just been amazing. As Mark said, it's I'm not sure if it's even 5 times as much. It's probably more than 5 times the conversions. Yeah, I've not really seen anything quite like it, to be fair. And the residual side as well, just insane.
You want to talk a little bit about PLS and how you pursued it? I mean, did you just join off the bat and just went with it?
Yeah.
I remember you told me that you've done PLS before and didn't give it a chance, maybe, and then you just decided to plug in since it's you're doing AWN and.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in PLS for probably 6-9 months as an affiliate, and I kind of actually cancelled that probably 4 or 5, I don't know, maybe 4 months ago. I can't remember exactly the dates, but it was a little while back. I cancelled it. It was just a stupid thing. I wasn't really getting any results as an affiliate. I had one sign up, and I was using the system to create capture pages and track those capture pages. So I really wanted to kind of do the whole tracking and see. I wanted to get a capture page or a few capture pages that would convert at least sort of 50-60%. I was then kind of gunning for 80% or so, and I was having some issues with kind of interpreting the tracking results because they didn't seem to stack up, and I just had a run-in with the support guy, and it just pissed me off, basically. So, and I wasn't getting the results, so I just cancelled it and did something else. And when it was actually Karen started sending out the emails about obviously the AWN launch. In fact, it's actually Guy, one of my subscribers, one of my team members, who first even said, "Have you heard about this new system?" And I didn't know what he was talking about, but he directed me to some information, and then obviously Karen followed up, and that was when obviously I found out about AWN and PLS and all this stuff. And I think once I'd seen what you guys have put in place in terms of my cash freebies and the PLS sort of residual element, I was like, damn, these guys have got me back. So I kind of signed up again with PLS. albeit I was kind of like,
When you signed up for PLS, did you what were you did you have any expectations?
um, it was a kind of suck it and see. I thought I'd just try it out. I thought, well, you know, you're talking, what was it, 30 odd dollars plus 20 something, so 50 something dollars a month to be the customer and affiliate. I figured, you know, it's only going to take, you know, 2-3 sign-ups for that to pay for itself, and I figured, you know, I'll give it a try, and if it doesn't work, then whatever. But I could see, you know, if you're promoting this, and I could see that the system was going to convert anyway, just because of the quality of it, but because I'd done a little bit of, like I said, I'd given it that couple of days of testing it with that traffic coming in, and just seen that it was starting to, you know, get traction. And so I figured, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'll give it a try. The worst that can happen, you know, nothing converts, and I just go back to, you know, just cancel again. You know, there's no massive risk, but within, I think every day that since I actually signed up as an affiliate, you know, I've been getting 2 or 3 PLS signups. So it's like going like, this is like $40 a month residual pay rise every day. That's what's that? That's like $440 a year pay rise every single day. And you know, it took a couple of days to see that was just, I mean, I'd never seen anything quite like it.
What we found
do
is,
have a lot of
Steve, sorry to cut you off there, Steve, mate. Very quickly, just what we were talking about before is with PLS, you know, we're getting pretty much the same amount of PLS signups as we are My Cash Freebies commissions. You know, so anyone watching this, you know, if you want to, you know, you want to take it even remotely seriously, if you're not in PLS, you've got no idea how much money you're actually leaving on the table, because, you know, as soon as you start to drive that traffic through, you best believe you're definitely going to get people who are wanting to going to be a part of PLS. So, you know.
Yeah.
I think I've actually had more PLS signups than My Cash Freebies.
Yeah, mine's pretty
You know,
close.
people completing the offers, because I think one question that a lot of people have, especially in countries where the My Cash Freebie sites don't have those offers available, they're like, oh, how do I get started? But PLS obviously they don't have offers to go through. There's a simple sort of system, which obviously AWN and the, yeah, obviously the training that you put in place. You've got the 2 elements. You've got My Cash Freebies and PLS, and I think still a lot of people still scratching their heads around. You know, if you're in a country where there's no offers available, they go, oh, I'm not quite sure. Although it works exactly the same, obviously, whether you're in the US, Canada, or India, or Timbuktu. The only difference, I guess, is that obviously the international members with the My Cash Freebie sites, the only difference is that they won't get paid for their first commission. Their first referral would go act like them doing the offers, but I think a lot of people haven't quite grasped that yet, so they're kind of doing, you know, jumping into AWN, and they see PLS is a lot easier. So like I say, I've probably had more PLS signups than people actually completing the My Cash Freebies offers, which I mean,
I've got to say as well, the reason I had that huge lack of sleep, and still really do, thinking about it, is purely the PLS side of things for me personally. Because when you look at the compensation plan and how amazing it really is, it kind of blows you away when you know you can drive kind of traffic to something. You know, the possibilities are endless just with the 50% match bonus, and obviously you're getting $20 for every you know, $20 residual per referral, you know, monthly recurring income, and then you can go even deeper to get the one-off $100 commissions, and you can even go even deeper than that. So, you know, once you learn the training in the AWN back office, you start driving traffic to this system. There's a huge amount of money you can make from PLS alone. Like, it's, you know, it's quit your job kind of money.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I'm excited that you guys see the big picture. Obviously we've been getting a lot of support emails and people asking in the group, PLS, should I get in it, should I not? And Steve, just like you said, if you're driving traffic, I think both of you guys said that if you're driving traffic to AWN and you're having consistent, steady traffic, targeted traffic, you are leaving money on the table if you don't have PLS. I guarantee it that you're leaving money on the table. So, I mean, that's just a no-brainer. I mean, plus you get to create your own capture pages on the fly. I mean, it's a great product. So it just makes sense. Well, thanks, Steve. Tim, is there anything else you want to add right now? I plan on going back to both of them to kind of share some nuggets on their YouTube strategies. A few points if they want to add on, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk about. You guys brought up a really good point as far as having MyCash freebies and then PLS on the back end as residual. For PLS, it's $30 a month just to own the software, and then $23 a month for the affiliate. But if you think about it, like what Mark said, we're seeing the same numbers. Basically, for every MyCash freebie referral that completes their credit, meaning you earn the $33 when they become green, that you're paying for your PLS membership right there. You need one MyCash freebie referral a month just to pay for your PLS referral, or your PLS account. And that's why we structured it the way we did, because technically, not including the affiliate fee for PLS, when you get one MyCash freebie sign up who completes their crediting, you still have $3 left over in your pocket. So because you make $33, PLS is $30, and with the numbers we're seeing, for every MyCash freebies person that becomes a MyCash freebies referral, I don't know what you would call them, referral agent, but for everyone who becomes green, they then become about 90% of them then become a PLS affiliate. So you are losing money if you're using our funnel. And if you're in AWN not using the funnel, I commend you for not wanting to do it and just wanting our training because it's just so good. But Karin posted that video in the group earlier. She said, how you're losing commissions, and you really are, especially if you're driving a lot of traffic to our system. You're just leaving, like I think it was Steve said, every day he's getting 2 to 3 signups, which is anywhere from $40 to $60 a month additional income. That just keeps stacking on itself. So just think about that. All you need is, if you're worried about money, think money's tight, keep in mind, all you need is one MyCash freebies referral to become green to earn you that $33 a month, just one a month to pay for your PLS. That's it. And then if you want to become an affiliate and pay for that as well, you need 2 a month. That's 1 every other week. It's not hard to do, especially with the training that we provide. If you use Steve and Mark's strategy, where literally, guys, all you have to do is go out there, use the keyword research that we teach you, and then post a video every day to build momentum. Once you have momentum and you start getting those traffic, maybe you get some traffic from this video, some traffic from this video. Once the traffic just starts coming in all at once, then you could back off a little bit. Unless you just want to scale up like crazy, then you keep going every single day. But guys, you need to post content out there on a daily basis. Be positioned within the system, and you'll start seeing the income just grow. You're not going to get rich overnight. A lot of people think they're going to come into the system just because they're in the system, they'll start making money. It doesn't work like that. It never will. Anything you see promoted out there, if they're claiming that that's what it is, it's probably something illegal. And just keep in mind that this business does take work and it does take dedication, and you do have to go through the training and learn some stuff. But when you apply this stuff on a daily basis, you will get results, guys. I promise you. Just apply yourself. Myself, Michael, I know myself and Michael for a fact because we've been masterminding and talking to each other for the last, 2.5 years? Something like that?
3 years now almost.
Going on 3 years now. We've been through it. We know what it's like to struggle. We've been where you're at. Steve's been where you're at. Mark's been where you're at. Shit, Mark was the guy trying to do online poker, trying to make some money. He knows. He's been there. He struggled. He probably still does it because now he knows some strategies. But he had to learn some stuff. Steve had to learn how to do video, right? And he just got really good at it from doing it day after day after day. never gave up. Even when he made 10 videos that didn't get any traffic, he just kept posting. He just kept going, and that's what it takes. You got to remember, about 90%, remember the 80-20 rule? 20% of your content is going to bring you 80% of your traffic, okay? So about 80% of the content you put out there is not going to bring you much, but that 20% are going to be giant oil wells of traffic, okay? So you just got to keep going. And that's basically all I wanted to add to what you guys were talking about, because it's good stuff, man. You guys just stay consistent. You keep posting on a daily basis. You keep engaging with your audience, and that's how you're getting the results. And people are like, what the hell are these guys doing? It's just being consistent on a daily basis.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before in the trainings as well. Being consistent. Think of it like you're building your island. I use this analogy when you're putting out content. Let's say you're just starting off with YouTube, for example. Put out a video. You're just starting off. You put out a few. You get up to 10, 20. And now you're like a little speck out in the ocean, and you keep putting out more content. As you keep putting out more content, your island's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually, you can stand on it, right? And you keep putting out more content, and eventually it gets bigger and bigger to where you can run around it and stuff like that. And you keep, then you get a blog, then you start publishing content on your blog, then you start publishing content on your social media. So this keeps adding content, keeps adding mass to your island until this is this gigantic thing. So now think about this. When somebody's looking for something that's related to your island, are they going to find a little speck, or are they going to find this big, massive thing out there? The chances are they're going to run across that big, massive island, right? So that's why we tell you guys to post consistently and keep putting out content. And like Tim said, the 80-20 rule, you're only going to get 80% of your results from 20% of your content. Yeah, that's true, but you can grow that 20% if you're consistent and you keep putting content out there, because you never know when you hit that oil strike. I mean, I showed you guys an example in the training. I don't know if you guys have been through the SEO training. I highly recommend you go through all that and go through it probably twice or 3 times and take notes and understand what I'm showing you guys there, because I even show you an example of a video that's generating us like 35, even 40 leads a day in some days just from one video. I mean, that's and it's easy to duplicate. I show you guys exactly what to do, so there's really no excuses. All right, so with that being said, let's go back to Mark, and if you have any sort of cool ninja tricks that you want to kind of put out there for people, something that you got really good at doing, or anything that might help somebody that's new, by all means share as much as you want.
Right. Okay. Well, there's so many ways I could go. What I kind of struggle with, and Steve knows this, I kind of struggle with the level of information I give, and sometimes I go too advanced, and a lot of it goes over people's heads. So I'll try to keep it as basic. I think it just depends which kind of avenue you want to go down, because as Steve already said, you can go for the what's called the launch jacking route, which is reviewing products which are already designed to help you make money online, and kind of even if it's a good product, you can kind of do a short review and then still direct them to your link as well, and say there's a new system out, 14 hours worth of training, direct them to your link. Just basic information from experience I've learned is I tend to think shorter videos convert a little bit better. You'll always kind of see when you're in your YouTube analytics that the view count just drops off after a kind of 2.5 to 3 minutes. So if there is a way you can shorten your videos down to just a few minutes, you will probably find you get more opt-ins. If you can't help but make a long video, have some kind of call to action near the beginning. Just maybe mention your link and such from such.com. Have that at the beginning, and then that's going to put your domain in their minds. I would always, obviously, as is said all over the place in the back office of the system, provide value. Don't just do review videos. If you are going to go down that route, have tutorials in there as well, and give people a reason to subscribe to your channel and build, a following. And you can find YouTube tutorials, on putting subscribe buttons on your YouTube video. Basic SEO stuff. Michael, I'm kind of halfway through the SAO videos now, so I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen about 4 of them so far. So apologies if I'm just covering stuff you've already said, but you know, you want to have your keywords you're trying to rank for in your title of the video, in the description, in the tags. If your YouTube channel is verified, which it should be, because that will allow you to do custom thumbnails, little images. You can actually save the thumbnail file name with those keywords as well, and all these little things will help you rank. And if you're not a member of IBOTube, the you know, the digital, you know, the marketplace, whatever you call it, the marketers social network, do press releases on there and use the links. You know, do basically a backlink from your press release to your YouTube video, and that helps the video rank. That's a good little trick.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah. One of the things that I want to go back and also mention that that both of you guys did, and I can't stress how important it is when people are starting off, is being in control of your traffic. I wrote down a note here. I just wanted to touch on this again. When you're starting off, you really want to be in control of your traffic, and what I mean by that is when you're going out there and posting your content, you know, just don't post a naked. When I say this is an SEO term. When I say a naked URL, it means like just the link itself, like your affiliate link, for example, at Automated Wealth Network. Because later down the road, if you want to do something or change where that traffic is going, you have to go back and change each one of those links, which is a pain in the butt. And a lot of people are not willing to do that. So there's a better way to do it. You want to be able to redirect your traffic through one domain. If you have one main domain that you're sending traffic to, like Mark and Steve both did, they redirected that traffic to Automated Wealth Network. So they're promoting this one thing here, right? They already have a traffic that's established, and all they did is kind of just flip a switch, redirect that traffic to AWN, and boom, they're done. It's like instant traffic, you know. So that's why when you're posting regular content, you're building that island, metaphorically speaking, you are in control of it. So that's really powerful when you're doing. And another thing is, when you're posting content, you know, people are all about free methods, right? They love getting it started with free methods. But just remember, posting content, it's not necessarily free because it takes up your time too. So you really want to make sure that you're in control of your traffic, because otherwise you're just wasting your time posting the links out there. So it's really easy to do. Go pick up a domain and just do a redirect. You know, we have training in our back office, or you could do a quick YouTube search, and it's just really easy to do. I highly recommend using a plugin called PrettyLink, because you can set up slugs and redirect each slug to whatever page you want, and you can log into your web page and then, you know, redirect on the fly. It's really cool. And you can have multiple redirects. It's a little slightly more advanced. You need to install WordPress, but I highly recommend it. I've used that all the time in my affiliate marketing, so it's a time saver, and it'll really help you later down the road if, you know, you decide to, you know, change your traffic and testing. Because the nice thing about it, like Steve said, you know, he decided to test it a little bit. So he turned over a little bit of his traffic to AWN to see how it does for a few days, and it did good. And then he turned, you know, all of his traffic over. So can't stress enough how important that is. All right, let me see. I wrote down something else here. That's about it. So let's go over to Steve. Steve, anything else you want to add?
So just unmute myself there. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's you know, it costs what, maybe $11-12 for a year to get your own domain, and so a lot of people, obviously, I mean, there are link shorteners out there that you can get for free, and I guess they do the job, but it's not allowing you to brand yourself the way that, you know, you spend that's like $1 a month, you know, to get your own domain. It's going to help your brand something memorable that you can go out and promote. And certainly, if you're looking to do this seriously, guys, I'd say, you know, just go out and find a cool domain, and you know, it's if you can't spend $12 on a domain, then you know, why are you doing this in the first place? You know, but and it gives you that control, as Michael just said. It's a it's a very good investment. I mean, one thing I wanted to say, just going back from a little earlier, talking about obviously getting started. One thing which I just wanted to put out to guys watching, that in terms of consistency and putting out videos every day, you know, even if you're not doing videos, if you're doing Facebook marketing or whatever, any kind of, you know, when you're just getting started out, I think it's really, really important, because I've seen a bunch of questions in the group and a lot of people sort of go, oh, I'm not getting results yet, and I can obviously relate to that, because, you know, you're starting out and there's that kind of uncertainty and doubt. But it took me about a month to earn my first commission when I started online. So I just wanted to let people know that I was putting out videos every day, sometimes more than one video a day, and I didn't see any commissions or any money at all for a month. And then I got my first one. I did a little dance in the garden. I thought, okay, this works now. I can, you know, I finally made my first kind of, whatever it was, $20 online. But I could see that it was, you know, what the guy told me. He said, just stick at it. It will start to come. Just believe in it. And like I said, this was a guy who was already making money, and he knew that it worked, and he just told me to trust him. Say, look, do this and be consistent, and it will work. But you don't expect results in the first week, or the, you know, if you get a result in the first few days or the first week, that's awesome. But if you don't, then it's, you know, that's to be expected. So he said, give it 30, 40 days and be consistent. And I just wanted to put that out there, because I think a lot of people probably, you know, it's a critical part, is the first month or two. You know, I've had people in my team where it's taken them maybe 2 months to get their first commission, but it's once it happens, it starts, you know, it's all about being consistent. And I just, like I say, really wanted to put that out there, because that is, I think
it's important to point out as well. Sorry, Steve. I think it's important to point out that this was a system that, you know, converted nowhere near as high as this one. So, you know, if you just apply the consistency Steve's talking about there, it's, in my opinion, very likely you're going to get results much quicker than that, because of the amount of quality people can see in this system. So if you just believe in it, like Steve says, you'll get, you know, you should be getting results in a few weeks max, in my opinion, if you work on it every day and you learn new things and you put your training in. That's another thing as well that's been said many times as well. Don't wait to learn all the training before you put anything into practice, before you take any action. Just, you know, learn a little bit every day and put something else into action. You know, you want to be trying to promote as much as you can, and if you know, if you don't get it right, learn something else and then put that into action. Just keep putting things into action every day, and that's the fastest way to get paid.
Mm-hmm. That's, yeah. I think a lot of people also are afraid of making mistakes, and I think the biggest and most effective way to learn is to make as many mistakes as you possibly can. Just do it and make those mistakes and just keep at it, and always would be learning. And I don't know, when I got into this, I was obsessed with, you know, this had to work. This is something that, you know, I needed to make it work. So, you know, be thinking about it, and obviously absorbing as much training as possible as I went along, but not waiting to get it all down, you know, like a master before taking action. So, you know, you want to be learning, applying stuff, and just constantly taking that action, and you know, falling over, getting up. I had my YouTube channel just after I started earning my first commissions. Someone came and flagged my channel, and I had the channel pretty much removed. So I had to start again from square one, like a month, 40 days into it. So then I started again and started setting up different channels. So I was spreading, you know, not just have one channel, but had built up several channels. And then I had the bright idea of going into each channel and then liking and commenting on the other channels. And then YouTube cottoned onto that, and they just banned all those channels as well. So then I had to start again. So the first 3 months were kind of interesting, but I was learning a lot at the same time, and I wasn't going to let that stop me or give up, because I could see it was working, and it's just, you fall off the horse, you've got to jump back on again.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad to have you guys on, and I mean, this is what we wanted, our members and everybody out there looking. If you're looking at this and wanting to check out, what AWN is all about, all you have to do is just click the button below this video and get in there. It's free, and check it out. But Mark and Steve are two perfect examples of somebody that came to this. They're new about a year or so ago, and they just kept applying themselves, and they established themselves a little bit. They got some traffic, and then they came into a system that converts like hotcakes, and then everything just blew up for them. So, that could be you. And I want to add on to what Steve said. Taking imperfect action is better than taking no action at all, because if you take no action, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you're moving forward, it's easy to make a little course correction. Sometimes all it takes is a little millimeter to get you to hit that target. But if you're standing still, you're not going anywhere. So I wanted to add one more thing while it's on my mind, and then I'll hand it over to Tim. You both said that you do launch jacking, which is great. I love that strategy. There's products coming out all the time in this industry. I mean, it's an evergreen niche. There's always products coming out almost every single day, seems like it. Some are good, some are bad, obviously. And this is what I recommend to a few people as well. If you're doing launch jacking, don't just go out there and just keep cranking out videos just to get a review video done. Like Steve said and Mark said, actually do give value. Make it a good review. Make it worth the person's time that's watching it. And make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. Don't go out there and do a review of and I've seen this before, and I'm not lying. I've seen somebody in the internet marketing space doing a review, a launch jacking style review for a testosterone product, a male enhancement product. I mean, that just does not add up. That's horrible. It makes the company look bad. It makes the affiliate look bad. So don't just go on some of these sites that post the product launch dates, and it has their JV page on there. Don't just go mindlessly creating videos. Make sure that it's congruent to our market. And make sure that you're adding value. And you can actually take it a step further. I shared this with Steve the other day. If you're doing product launch reviews, why not go ahead and join the JV page, reach out to the creator and see if you can get a review copy. 8 times out of 10, they'll give you a review copy. They'll give you some login information. You can actually go in there and try to do an honest review on the product. So a lot of the times when there is a high-profile launch, they're more than willing to give you a review copy to do a review on their product, because they want to take care of their affiliates. Sometimes you get some of these kind of shady little tiny launches that you don't really hear the person launching, and they're just in it for the quick bucks. Sometimes it's not. It's kind of harder to do. But with that being said, it's not impossible. I even went to lengths to where I actually bought the product myself to do a review, and then I just asked for a refund. Because when you do this, what you can add on to the review video, you can actually start a internet marketing product review blog. And over time, you could turn this into an authority site, and as you keep releasing more reviews on your site, they're going to rank easier and easier and easier, because your domain authority is going to keep increasing, especially if you're adding in all the linking strategies that I show you in the SEO training. So what you can do is create a buzz video about the product coming out. Let's say product XYZ review launching on such and such date, right? You can put out a video saying, hey guys, I'm going to be reviewing this product as soon as it comes out. I'll give you the ins and outs, give you behind the scene tour, and give you enough information to help you make an educated decision if it's for you or not. But in the meantime, please check out my blog, where I give away whatever you're giving away, have them opt into your list, and then give them more value on your blog, and then eventually you can get them into whatever you're doing. In this case is Automated Wealth Network. And then as you get more advanced, I recommend you guys putting together your own ebook, your own little mini course as an entry point into Automated Wealth Network, because you're only qualifying your leads even more. So that's a great strategy. I mean, starting your review blog, implementing it with your social media, and especially video, and that works like gangbusters. I know a lot of people that do that. So there you go, Tim. That's about all that I have. So if you want to take it over.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was good stuff, man. I've seen that, and I still see it to this day. People who are promoting, like, whatever product they're promoting, they do launch jacking, and I've seen testosterone boosters and stuff like that. They're reviewing it and then telling them to join their Make Money Online gig, and it's like, what the hell are you doing? But people do that. So like Mike said, compare apples to apples when you're out there doing that. With that being said, Mike, if you don't mind, I want to talk about what we got coming as far as the change goes, and a little contest we got rolling out.
Yeah.
Even Mark don't even know it's coming.
So yeah, let's do that, and then afterwards we can answer questions. We'll do a Q&A.
All right, cool. So all right, guys, for those of you who are on this video right now, you're going to really benefit from this. If you're watching this a month from now, this contest will already be over, but it'd be cool for you to actually try this out. But for those of you who are watching this video, what we're doing is we decided to change the initial sales video up a little bit, okay? And this contest is going to be for anyone inside of AWN who wants to be featured in the initial AWN sales video. So that first video, when you opt in, that big sales video, what we're going to do is basically take the top 10 testimonial videos that are out there and basically put them right into that video. So one, it's going to give you more exposure and trust when you send your leads through the system. And like I said, it's going to give you massive exposure because we got some other stuff coming after we do that. And what I want you guys to do, I'm going to be posting all this stuff in the group on a pinned post so you can go back and reread it. But I'm basically going to run through what I've got written out as far as like how to enter, how we're going to be choosing the winners, and what to expect from there, where to send your video and all that. So basically the way to enter is, it's really simple. All you have to do is upload your testimonial to your own YouTube channel, okay? And the testimonial must be no longer than 1.5 minutes, okay? No longer than 1 minute and 30 seconds, because we want 10 of these, and if we get too many of them, it's just going to be an 1.5 hour long video. So we don't want that. So keep it short, sweet, to the point, and it could be any kind of results. It can be anything from income, leads, a mindset breakthrough, anything from learning a new marketing strategy, or anything that you feel has helped you out and given you that little bit of a breakthrough. We're going to be looking into everything, okay? And when it comes to titling your video, just so that we can pick these things out and find it, you want to title it Automated Wealth Network Testimonial, and then your name or whatever you want to put after that, okay? And then in the description, make sure to put your affiliate link in there, or whatever link you're using to send to your capture page, because that's going to help you as well when you put this up on YouTube. And the way we're going to choose the winners is we're going to choose the top 10 based on authenticity and the level of change that AWN has brought into either your business or your life, okay? It's not only going to be about how much income you've made or how many leads you generate. It's going to be an overall testimonial of what Automated Wealth Network has brought to you, okay? And when I post this in the group, I'm going to also post where to send your video once it's uploaded, where to send the link, okay? And then we'll actually reveal the winners in 2 weeks, and that's when we're going to go in and reveal the winners in the group, and we will be featuring you inside of the sales video, all right? So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be really cool to see you guys in that sales, because that sales video already converts really high, and with those testimonials, it's going to bring those conversions up even more.
So Tim, I have a question, buddy.
Yeah.
What about those of us who would think about maybe putting music behind the testimonial? Should we leave out music? Because I assume you'd be putting your own kind of sounds in the background.
Yeah. Leave the music out. I mean, you can make your own testimonial with music,
Yeah.
but the one that you want to enter, leave the music out because it'll sound weird if like one person's got one music and then it cuts and then goes to the next person. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funny to watch though.
What about like graphics and things like that? Because the way that I would normally do it is just like have like a screenshot just appearing on the screen of just the results. It's okay to do stuff like that.
Yeah, we want to see your face too. We want to know who you are.
Yeah.
And make sure I'll put that in the rules as well. It has to be,
All right.
real people.
Yeah, Tim, will you have an outline of exactly kind of what you want in the video or how you want the video structured?
Yeah, basically. So again, no longer than a minute and a half. You want to have, and again, this is gonna be all posted in the group, but you're gonna want to have basically like what you're seeing right here. A live video. That way they know it's a real testimonial from real people. And then you can share your results. Say, hey, this is so and so. Here's my results. Or these are the results I've had. Just talk about them. You could do like a screen share, but make sure you're still in the video, okay? So it's authentic. No music in the background, like Mark was just saying. And again, make it authentic. No hype, because we can read through the hype. We know when people aren't having the results that they are, if they're claiming, because we can look.
Yeah.
You
also know where you're sending traffic from, so don't be trying anything sneaky.
Yeah, and we see your traffic too, so. But yeah, well, again, I'll be posting after this hangout. I'll be posting it in the group on the pinned post. You can read through it, and the contest is starting right after this this hangout. So we'll be revealing those winners in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, guys, and having if you are one of the lucky winners to be in the sales page on the sales video, like Tim said, it's going to give you massive exposure. So when leads go through there, they're going to recognize you and they go, oh, well, I know him. So it instantly boosts your trust with that person. So don't take it lightly. I mean, it's something that you should really consider.
Yeah, and don't think that just because you haven't had any income or leads per se, maybe you haven't had any results like that, you haven't been able to drive traffic, but there's been a video that really captured your attention and made you understand something about internet marketing. Those videos, we really like those videos too, because that's the initial breakthrough that a lot of people need. And so, you could talk in videos about how much money you've made, how many leads you get, how much traffic you can talk about all this stuff. But as you know, throughout our funnel, we don't go out and hype it up and tell you how much money we're making. We show one example of how much money I've made. One example. We never talk about and throw it in your face, because that's not what we're about. We want to show real people having real results, whether it's mindset, leads, or income. So no matter where you're at in your business, we do accept your testimonials, and we might even include you in the sales funnel. So
cool.
Don't think that just because you didn't make money, you won't have a chance in winning the contest.
Yeah. One thing, so Tim, you're going to also talk about kind of the direction we're going in with AWN. I know we briefly talked about that.
Yeah. So what we've been working on a lot these last few days, last actually couple of weeks since we've launched, we've seen a lot of questions in the Facebook group. Michael and I have been answering the support emails just ourselves when we can get to it, and a lot of the same questions have been popping up. And so what we realized was we didn't simplify it enough. And so what we had to do was go back to the drawing board and figure out where were people falling off, where were they getting stuck, and where's the confusion, right? So we took all the emails, we analyzed everything, all the questions, and sat there and thought, okay, how do we fix this? So what we're doing, and we'll be releasing this in the next couple of days, we actually worked on it literally all day today. We have a new orientation phase that's going to be in place by the end of the week, where after you see the PLS video, we're going to walk you through a series of 4 videos that's step-by-step explaining each income stream, and then what to do, a step-by-step guide on what to do next and how to get started. Okay? Because a lot of people are getting into the system and then they get all click happy and start clicking everywhere, and then they get lost and then come in the group and say, what do I do next? Right? So what this new phase of the funnel is going to do is going to help eliminate that. It won't eliminate it 100%, but I'm going to say about 85% of it. It'll eliminate that. And it's also going to help you guys with higher conversions with My Cash freebies and PLS. Because I threw a little bit of sales in there too. So it's going to be a brand new phase, 4-step phase of the orientation. Literally, it's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then they're completely set up, no confusion. And it's going to be really good as far as what we're bringing to the table after that. So, and you guys will see that probably, what, Mike, in a month and a half?
Yeah, if everything goes well, probably about a month or so.
Yeah. So we haven't fully unleashed the beast yet, so to say. So it's going to be really good. It's really exciting. You guys are in a good spot, especially if you're in AWN right now. You're in a really good spot, especially if you've positioned yourself already, because what we have coming next, the reason why we're doing the orientation phase the way we are and fixing the front of the funnel so that it runs really smooth is so that the next phase is just going to crush everything. So in a good way, So yeah, with that being said, back to you, Mike. I don't know where you're at. Over here.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Right
here.
There. Cool. Well, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to cover before we take questions. Or Mark and Steve, do you have anything else you want to add or ask right now?
I had a quick question actually, but I guess you probably answer it in the group. But in terms of obviously the testimonial thing, obviously a great idea for the the video. Obviously, when people are coming onto the site and seeing some of the what people have to say about it is obviously going to be a great help. But I was just curious whether you guys, because you mentioned obviously it's going to help obviously the 10 people that actually have their videos on there, the testimonials on there, that it's going to people go, oh, that's the person I've been speaking to. But I think half the time, obviously, most of the time, people won't recognize the face on there because usually, this is all over the internet, and okay, they might recognize the face, but they probably just received a bunch of emails, or they might not know who it is. So I just wondered if there's going to be a name on there or something like that, or if you guys will be adding names, or if people entering the testimonial should put their own name like along the bottom or something like that.
Yeah. So that's going to be. Oh, sorry. Are you going, Mike?
Yeah. Well, no. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be all in the video guidelines that I'm going to lay out in the group when I post it all. Yeah. You guys are going to want like I said, live footage and state your name. I'll write up basically what you want to say in the beginning, and then one, it's going to help with your SEO, and two, it's going to help people understand who you are. And
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Any questions in the group, or I'm not even on the group yet.
I'm gonna look them up right now.
I saw a question by Sean. He asked this about 17 months ago. Steve and Mark.
17 months ago?
No, 17 minutes ago. Minutes. Yeah.
He's been waiting a while.
He said, Steve and Mark, can you talk about how important your follow-up emails are to your leads and any suggestions?
Well, I said this on a previous Hangout. Actually, I think one of the best videos I've seen in quite a while is a video Tim did pre-launch. I think it was pre-launch anyway. It was where you asked a question in the group, what would you like me to do a video on, and it ended up being just about general sales. And a lot of the content that was covered in that video I have applied to my follow-up series in my autoresponder, which is, you don't really want to be pitching to them every single email. You want to maybe, if you have your own autoresponder and you want to kind of put your own personal touch on it, try and give them a bit of value. What I personally do is I just have an image of the AWN logo at the top, which is clickable. That'll take them straight to my link, but it doesn't say click here or anything like that. It's just an image there, and I'll maybe have a couple of emails in my series that is just pure value, you know, like how to put a subscribe button on your YouTube channel or how to rank content, something like that. And then maybe every second or third email, then warm them up for a pitch. And I thought that was great advice. So mix it up with a bit of value and a bit of pitching would be my advice.
Awesome.
That's awesome, dude. I was just in the group and I just saw this by Yetta Ackerman. Hopefully she's on, and hopefully I pronounced your name right. She posted this 11 minutes ago. Said, "Wow, team! I just started promoting at 3 p.m. And I now have 4 leads opted in. I'm so excited. Thank you, Sean Powell, for all the help and pushing me." So that, yeah, following up with your people, pushing them to just promote, and they'll start getting results. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve, you know, going back to what you said earlier about, you know, you said that you had been shut down a few times with YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so another thing I want to kind of touch on briefly here is, you know, it's going to take a lot of perseverance. And we try to make everything as simple as we can with Automated Wealth Network, and we wanted it to convert high enough to where, and you know, Mark touched on this, you don't have to wait as long as you typically would when you're doing things on your own or you're doing something else, because we wanted to get you that first taste, that first tasteful morsel of success earlier than later, and then that would take care of getting you over through that hump, you know, because when you have that first commission, it's kind of like a light bulb that goes off in your head, and it goes, okay, it's possible. I did this once. Now I just have to do it over and over and over and over again. And I thought that's so important because, you know, let's face it, you know, the statistics are against you. You know, I've mentioned this in the breakthrough video. Over 95% of the people that come into internet marketing and try to do network marketing, working from home, whatever, fail. And they fail because they don't stick around long enough to get to that point where they have that first little success to get them over the hump. And, you know, eventually after that, it's going to be all downhill and you're just going to be like cruising. But until you get there, yeah, it's going to be hard, but you just have to stick to it and believe it, and eventually you'll get there too. So, you know, people just give up too early. So with Automated Wealth Network, we've been noticing people have been getting results much quicker than they would have somewhere else. So we're really proud of that. So if you're watching this right now and you've done other things before and maybe you're still skeptical, you're on the fence, you know, I highly recommend you going through Automated Wealth Network because it's literally a breath of fresh air when it comes to other things out there. You know, it's free, obviously. You don't have to commit to anything. You get in there and look at the training, and if you know, apply it, and then you can plug into the income streams, and you'll be surprised at the results you'll get. Just put a little effort into it, and you really will be surprised. You know, Tim, I mean, you know how much thought and effort went into creating these sales videos and how much we tweaked sales copy and changed things around. You know, we were still not satisfied until we keep improving it. So that's what, you know, it's cool that we're bringing to the table with this is we're always improving this, and it's kind of like our little baby. So I know Tim's really proud of the videos, and you're really proud of what Tim's done with his copywriting skills, because obviously it's showing now, especially with the upsell with PLS converting. Like for every person that's coming in through My Cash Freebies, we've been seeing over what would you say the conversion rate is now? I haven't really checked lately, but
for My Cash Freebies?
No, for the upsell for PLS.
For PLS, it's about 90% for if you go from the My Cash Freebies referral to the PLS referral.
So from completed offers to the PLS.
It's like 90%.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, you don't hear of that anywhere. It's crazy. Yeah.
But don't mistake that, for those of you watching this, don't mistake that for My Cash Freebies signups. We're talking about people who have completed a referral when they become credited. When you get the notification this member has become credited, there's a 90% chance that person's also going to buy PLS. Because those are the people who are really in it, like they're focused. They want this to work, so they're going to position themselves. As should you. If you haven't got in there yet, you need to position yourself with My Cash Freebies. So, But I mean, the capture page alone on the front end with good traffic is converting at 50%. The sales video for a new member is converting at about 50%. And yeah, from there on out, it's like 20 to 30% of the people who become a member complete the MyCash freebies, and then 90% of those can buy PLS and then get into the system. So yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's all I have to say, and I'll be posting I'm just kind of tweaking the rules for the contest, the testimonial contest, and that should be up here shortly into the back office, or not the back office, sorry, the group.
Just send them to my Facebook.
Just a quick word on the back of that. What you were you mentioned the numbers there. 90% of the guys who've completed the MyCash freebies commission offer rather. Those guys, 9% of those are going to do PLS. But I think what kind of me and Steve were talking about before the call was because Steve's getting, as he says, more PLS sales than he is MyCash freebies sales. It's not always the exact same people who do PLS. You get sign-ups for PLS that haven't actually done the MyCash freebies offers. So when you put that into play, it works out more or less even. I'm kind of finding, you know what I mean? So
yeah, it's going to be different for everybody, especially depending on your follow-up. I mean, like Mark, like you just said, you might get people who don't sign up for MyCash freebies, but then they move on to PLS and like, hell yeah, that's what I want. And they go and they buy that, So it's around 90% of the people who do one or the other. So, and again, that's why we structured it the way we did, because we understand sales funnels. We understand how to build them in back ends and front ends and all that stuff. So all you have to do is plug into the system, promote your affiliate link, let us do all the hard work for you. It's done. Steve and Mark, all they did was redirect their traffic from here to there, and they just blew it up. So
yeah, that's pretty crazy. There's some more questions here. Let's let me see. So the next one.
I'm just sorry, but just before you continue there, Michael, if I all of a sudden disappear, my laptop is giving me all sorts of notifications in the bottom right corner that the battery is about to die. So if I just go blank, I haven't just been ignorant of the battery's died. I'll tell you now.
Okay. No worries.
Call the police.
All right, let's see here. All right, so next one from Zakia. Okay, let me read this in paraphrase. This was kind of long. I'm going to read it and paraphrase it here. All right, so so this question is basically asking about our analytics or tracking. So they're asking about if we're going to have any sort of tracking for MyCash freebies and PLS accounts, for people that have completed or joined or completed offers, stuff like that. Yeah, as far as that goes, we don't have anything built into the system to talk to MyCash freebies and PLS directly because they're outside companies and we couldn't integrate in that way. So you just have to keep track of your leads or your signups through each site. So you want to log into your MyCash freebies site periodically and see who's signed up, because when you log in there, you're actually going to have their name, their email. And then you also will see if they started any offers, and sometimes you might see some accounts that are there that they might have like 0.9 credits, and all they need is 0.10 or 0.1 more, and their account's credits. So what I would do is just go in there and send them a quick email. Hey, I noticed you have 0.9 credits. Is there anything I can help you with? Where if you're stuck or anything like that, you can follow up with them that way. And you should also integrate a follow-up series for that inside of your autoresponder. We have added more emails to our sequence, and we're probably going to update that in the group, right? add the current sequence we're using right now?
Yeah, we're going to be update, and we're also going to be updating the members' follow-up emails as well to get them to be more active on completing their MyCash freebies and PLS offers. So
Yeah.
keep in mind, we're going to be constantly working on conversions for you. I love conversions. I love it. So we're going to be constantly working on it, tweaking it. We're going to be testing stuff, and we want this thing as smooth as possible. That way, all you guys have to do is hit go, get some traffic, send it to AWN, and just let it run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so another thing, like if you're trying to keep track of, if you use, I know I might have mentioned this before, if you're using a third-party autoresponder, which I recommend everybody that is taking this to the next level and you're trying to grow, you need a third-party autoresponder, okay? Just because it's going to give you extra functionality that you don't have with us. You can send multiple broadcasts a day, and all this other cool stuff we're going to be throwing into the email marketing training coming out soon. But it's really vital to your success as you grow. So when you have your third-party autoresponder, it's going to be, you can't necessarily, it's going to bypass our autoresponder, and people are going to go directly to on your list in your other platform. We integrate with GetResponse and Aweber, so you won't know when a member converts anymore. So your list won't be segmented. So your leads are going to be your leads. So even if they completed MyCash freebies and they signed up for Automated Wealth Network, they're still going to be on your leads list. But what you want to do is have some sort of bonus or something else they can opt into. You could create a form, like if you have GetResponse or Aweber, you could go in there and create another list. You can create a form on there that you can host on their page, or if you have PLS, you can use PLS, and then have them opt into that to receive a bonus for completing their offers or signing up with PLS. And what you can do is have them send you proof that they completed their offers, email and date they had it finished on, and then go ahead and send them an email with that opt-in form. So when they opt in, they'll receive an email with the bonus details. And what happens when that takes place is they're taken off of your leads list and then added onto the new list you created for your members, and that helps you segment your list, because your members are a lot more valuable to you than just your leads, because they converted, they bought something, so they're buyers, so they already took that first step. So you want to make sure you take good care of your members, and that's the easiest way that you can do this with our system, by offering some sort of bonus and have them set up the automation to take them off of your leads list and add them to your members list. I know that might sound a little bit complicated, but we're going to have a training series that's going to show you how to do that as well. So, alrighty. Let's see.
Beautiful.
Get on to the next one here. Okay, so here's a question from Matt Hester. Hey guys, question: is it more important to build a mailing list than advertising on social media? So, anybody want to take that, or?
I'll take it. So you're going to want to, if you're looking at advertising on social media, advertising on social media is ultimately going to build your email list, right? That was part of the question, right? I'm going to see if I read it right. Okay, all right, yeah. So building a mailing list is ultimately going to be a part of your advertising. So when you advertise, you're going to be building your list. So they kind of go hand in hand. You can advertise anywhere from social media to doing SEO with your own websites. You could be doing paid traffic. You could be doing solo ads. You could be doing direct mail. You could be doing anything that we teach, or anything that you already know how to do that we don't teach within the system. There's no wrong way to advertise. There's unethical ways, which we don't promote, but there's no wrong way to advertise, okay? But just keep in mind, building an email list or a mailing list is part of your marketing. It's a result of your marketing, because when you market, you're marketing to build that list of subscribers, that you build a brand let them know who you are. You get to build rapport with them. They get to know you, and then you show them offers and opportunities and stuff like that. So that's the point of building a list. They're basically hand in hand. So it's not one or the other. One's going to lead to the other. So.
Yeah. Well, the short answer is yes. You want to build your list, and you build your list by advertising. So that's why, with Automated Wealth Network. Automated Wealth Network is your lead magnet, so we set it up this way, for you guys to use. We set up this funnel, and we carefully constructed the funnel to get the results that we're seeing, the conversions that we're seeing, and you guys are piggybacking off of our knowledge and experiences and everything we've learned over the years. And you get to implement that in your own marketing. All you have to worry about is, generating traffic. You just have to generate leads, and that's it. And in the meantime, you can learn new methods to drive traffic, and you learn how all the pieces work, and you go, okay, well, now I can make my own funnel. I can do this and add this, and you grow from there. I mean, Tim and I, we didn't wake up one day saying, hey, I'm going to build this system. We had no clue what we were doing when we first started. I didn't even know what a capture page was. I heard the term squeeze page. I'm like, what's that? What on earth is a squeeze page?
Yeah.
That's just another word for a capture page, So I know Tim could say the same thing. I mean, I'm sure Tim has a funny story.
Dude, I got a few stories. But the funniest one was when I first got started online. It was in an MLM deal, and I just started, messaging people on Facebook and basically pissing everybody off because I was just pitching it to all my friends, and they all thought my account got hacked. So don't do that. And I, my first week, dude, I made like $200 or $300, right? I made like $200 or $300. I pissed everyone off on my friends list, but then I had one of my friends actually signed up, right? And then, a month later, he asked me, he goes, well, how many leads are you getting a day? And I go, leads? What is a lead? I didn't even know what a lead was. I was just promoting my link because that's what they told me to do, and I didn't even know what was happening. I was just doing it, So we definitely started without any knowledge. Before that, I had tried previous thing. I honestly thought that opting into my first capture page, I was going to get a virus. I was just like, whatever, I'm going to get a virus. I don't even care. And I opted in. I didn't. But, yeah, it's just one of those things. We all start with no knowledge, and then as time goes on, you progress and you just keep plugging in. You want to learn because you have that ultimate, higher vision of where you want to see yourself go. So that's going to help you want to learn more and more and just keep plugging in. Even if you're not getting results as far as you can see on your statistics, or you're not getting leads, or you're not getting income, the results are happening in here, okay? And that's where it's most important. So keep that in mind. If you're plugging away, you're not making money, you're not seeing any leads, because you're watching the videos, because you're on these hangouts, what's happening in here is subconscious, and over time, it's just going to happen. And you're going to start like nothing, like, oh, I'll make a video, and I'm going to title it like this. I'm going to write the copy like this, and it's just going to flow so naturally, and you're like, where did that come from? And you're like, it's those dang videos, right? So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Tim, that reminds me, we talked about this a few weeks ago. One guy that we both followed, and you'll know who I'm talking about when I say this, he said, and I know it's a fact for both me and you, you go and buy different trainings, or you go through different things over the years, and it's not like you get everything from one place, but you're going to take little nuggets from everything that you came across online. So you might not even, let's say you don't break through with Automated Wealth Network, you go through the training and you kind of pick up a little bit here and there, and a year goes by and you get into something else, or you're doing some, in a whole nother market, something else, affiliate marketing, niche blog, whatever. And, as the time progresses, you're going to get more and more knowledge. And as you look back, all of a sudden you're getting these results, and you go, well, I remember when I learned that with AWN, or I remember I learned this from here. So it's kind of you compile this skill set over time. You can take a little bit from everywhere. But with AWN, we try to give you as much as we could in one place to simplify this whole process. You know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's true. You know, everything I've learned has come from here, a little bit from here, a little from here, some mistakes I made over here, and it just, you know, and then it all came together, and I was like, I wanna, you know, I understand it. I know how to put it all together now, and let's teach people how to put it all together. That's what we're doing here. So, yeah.
Cool. Let me get some more questions. Okay. So actually, did I answer this one? Okay, so I answered Matt's. Okay. Beto. Hope I said that right. Gosh. Is there going to be training to understand the statistics in my lead section? What does the score and actions mean? Yeah. So we covered this in the last Hangout as well. Tim, you want to cover that real quick?
Yeah, hold on. I was reading it while you were saying it. It kind of messed me up.
Okay.
Wait, am I muted still? No, I'm not muted. Oh, dang. All right. Is there going to be a training to understand the statistics? Oh, yeah, sure. So it's not really important. I mean, you can look at those numbers. Those numbers are in there just to give you an idea of what your leads are doing. If they're watching videos, you know, it's going to give them. We just put arbitrary numbers back there just to give you a heads up of, hey, this lead is more active than this lead. So this lead is obviously worth more time. This person just came in, was like, nah, and was out of here, right? The ones who have higher numbers are the ones who are engaging in videos. Maybe they signed up. They're opening emails. They're you know, clicking on stuff, and they get points just for clicking on links, you know, just from going through the system. So the ones who have higher numbers are the ones who are more engaged in the system. The ones with a filled-in star, they open an email, right? Mm-hmm. So that means that they're clicking on emails that are getting sent out to them. They're very engaged in the system. So that's why we put that in there. It's not a big deal. Nothing to really worry your head about. It's just something so you can take a look and go, oh, that makes sense. Okay, this person, they're not really in it. This person's, dang, they're up there at like 80-something. You know, they're watching a ton of videos. You might want to reach out to those people and say, hey, you have any questions? I noticed you've been watching a lot of videos. You've been in the system. Any questions? You know, you can use that number to know exactly who to contact. So that's why it's there.
Yeah. Don't get too stuck on that number. I mean, it's something that you will only see inside the system with this platform that we built it on. Anywhere else, you won't have that number to go by. So it's not something I would recommend you getting used to seeing. Especially, I mean, if once you start using your third-party autoresponder, it's not going to be there.
Yeah. There's a question by Caleb. Can you make this? I love this question. Can you make a good ROI on this with this on paid traffic? You want to take that? Or you want me to take it?
Yeah. Well, no, you go ahead and take it.
All right. So this will be the last one. I got to get going because the lady wants to go get some sushi. But yeah, the ROI with that, we've been seeing basically earnings of anywhere from $2 to $4.50 per lead. So if you can get leads for less than $3, you're going to have a positive ROI. Now, I want to make a disclaimer right there. If you're buying trash traffic, you have to really trust your traffic. You have to know where you're buying your traffic from, who's the target audience, everything, right? You got to know your traffic if you know you're buying. And I'm assuming you do because that's a really good question. If you're buying traffic at about $1 a click, and it's highly targeted traffic, then you can absolutely crush it in this thing. Yes, I promise you that.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah, it's important to know your numbers down to the cost or down to your EPCs, your earnings per click. So once you know that number, I mean, you just scale out like mad. So,
yeah.
Hey, dude, before you go, here's another question I would like you to take or anybody from Greg. This was a few seconds ago. Hey guys, I've been in with you guys for 2 weeks. I'm struggling. I made a fan page and everything. Getting Fiverr to set up my page to look more brandy and promote it there. Will that work?
You want me to take that, or you want to take it?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
For anybody.
Okay, yeah, you know, getting a Facebook page set up, that's only the first step. That's not you have to be focused on driving traffic to that page, and then on that page provide the value to start attracting the leads. Okay, we talked about this even in the PLS video. You want to stand out. Yeah, you did the right thing. You went to Fiverr. You just outsourced. I'm a big fan of outsourcing. You outsourced, had a Facebook page made, branded to you. Now what your job is going to be is basically filling up that Facebook page with a lot of valuable content. Don't sit there and just post your link on every single post. Maybe post a link to an article teaching something about marketing your business online. Or maybe you want to give 3 quick tips that are going to get a higher email open rate, stuff like that. That's going to get more likes to your page. And then you want to focus on, when you're building your email list, send your email list to the Facebook page, and that's going to help you get more likes as well and see that they can provide more value. So Facebook page, getting that up and ready, that's just the first step. The second step is providing value. Third step is driving traffic to that page.
Yeah, you have to market the page. The page just won't do anything sitting there. It's a tool. It's a vehicle that that you need to drive traffic to. So another thing is we've already covered this before, but people are too antsy to get results right away. They want now. They want it to come overnight. And every one of us on this panel has stated that it didn't happen overnight. Steve said it took him, a month before he saw his first commission. Or Mark, did you say how long did it take you?
Probably about longer than a month, if I'm honest. It was probably about 6 weeks for me.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, and I guarantee you, they weren't sitting there on their hands. They were actually promoting, doing things, seeing videos and applying it. It's not they're just sitting there waiting, and then a month later something happened. No, they're consistent. Although they didn't see the results, they were being consistent. Eventually, the results caught up to their actions. So you want to keep building on that, because it's going to be it's like a snowball effect. So yeah. I think that's.
I gotta get going, man.
Yeah, I think we're good, dude. I think we're gonna call it a night, man. So
guys, I gotta get some sleep, man. I'm knackered.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate both of you guys coming on. It's great. I love being able to show examples like you guys, out there to the whole community, because this is what people want to see. They want to see real people getting real results. People they can relate to. So, I mean, you guys aren't even in the United States, so there you go. I mean, yeah. So thanks for coming out.
It's Thursday where we are.
There you go. That's Thursday. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Guys, Tim, I mean, you said you're going to post the details in the group. And
I'll post the details in the group in a bit. I'm going to fine-tune it. So look for those within the next hour or so, So
cool.
by tonight they'll be up.
All right. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you 2 weeks from now. I don't know exactly what date that is, but not the next Wednesday, but the one after that. And we'll just continue to bring you guys awesome value and sharing tricks and all this stuff to help you grow your business. So
we'll be revealing the winners on that hangout.
Oh, that's right. Perfect. Yeah, because that's 2 weeks from now. So, yeah, make sure you're in for that. All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, have a good night, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See you guys.